Well, it's Friday the 27th of March. With the new moon in Aries just a few short days ago, the moon in this fire sign brings with it inspiration and confidence. This is episode 2012 of 301 Permanently Moved.online, a personal podcast 301 seconds in length, written, recorded and edited in 1 hour by me at the JMO. A big thank you to Hugh for last week's episode. It was nice to have a week off and listen to my friend deliver a 301. I was supposed to be in Spain, but obviously that didn't happen. Instead, I was isolating a week before the main lockdown here in the UK began. Secondly, this episode's script is lifted from a much longer piece. There's a whole genre of "this is it" posts circulating on the interwebs, and I thought I'd write my own. When a landslide occurs, the severity of the event is measured by the distance of its run-out, i.e. the distance and depth that the landslide travels. The snow, mud or rubble follows the topology of the landscape, following the route of least resistance. The global banking landslide that was the 2008 financial crash never actually came to rest. Its run-out headed into civil society, culture, politics and other parts of the economy, manifesting as 0 hours contracts and austerity, and its extreme edge continues to creep along. The events of 9/11 were nearly 20 years ago, but its effects also continue to run out, surveillance structures and Snowden. Globally, the COVID-19 landslide is still only just beginning to pour from the top of the mountain. How long and deep this run out will be is anyone's guess. Lego grad student went viral last week with the following tweet: "If 20 formative years of your life involve a major terrorist attack, 2 recessions, exorbitantly expensive and unnecessary wars, tangibly worsening inequality, climate emergencies, and incompetence during a global pandemic, it might just make you think things aren't good." The topology of the landscape that COVID-19 has begun to run into is a grand valley with very few obstacles, already a graveyard with rising waters at the mouth of its river, a denuded ecological and cultural landscape that this event is ploughing over and into. The effects of COVID-19 have only just begun. This run-out doesn't end when we all re-emerge blinking into the early summer sunlight. The ground will continue to shift under our feet, soft and prone to collapse. It will be years, even decades, until the earth has settled. Our descendants will live with the final effects of the current situation. I use landslide as a metaphor for 2 reasons. 1, the long run-out is a term, I think, with a lot of utility when thinking about events like these. 2, exponential laws are used in the study of them, as in epidemiology. A lot has been written about the exponential nature of pandemics. I won't repeat them here. However, it's important to understand the nature and feeling of an exponential trend. Writing in Nautilus magazine last week, Aubrey Clayton wrote the following: "Nearly everything that has happened in the COVID-19 crisis has happened in the last week, but everything is happening faster every day. So guess what? A week from now, the same will be true. Nearly everything that has happened will have happened in the last week. Everything will accelerate. If we continue reacting too late, as we have, it will only slow down when the virus starts to run out of people new to infect." This feeling of speed is one that we are all experiencing and have been experiencing for a long time. Whilst it's dangerous to directly link or blame the outbreak on global capitalism, I have some sympathy for that point of view, as it elicits the same feeling. Our friend Lenin, of course, was entirely correct when he said, "There are decades where nothing happens, and there are weeks where decades happen." There is, of course, a strain of ontology or philosophy that has been talking about the nature of this condition for a while: accelerationism. Accelerationism isn't a political project per se, but more of a philosophical explanation of the condition that we are all experiencing. It is born from the polis, where philosophy should be, not the ivory towers of academia. Matt Cahoon, aka Xenogothic, wrote on his blog last week, "There is no such thing as being an accelerationist, because there's nothing I can do to impact the process of acceleration. It is something that is happening to us already, has been for centuries. It's naive to think that any of us have our foot on the throttle of global capitalism. In that sense, accelerationism is a bad name." He goes on to quote someone else that accelerology might be a better term. Responding to that same essay, Paul Graham Raven noted, "I'm tempted to see acceleration as Cahoon sees it, which, I concede, may not be the universal conception of the term, as being a condition rather than a creed, in that sense that postmodernity was a condition rather than a creed. In both cases, the conditionality may suggest certain stances in response, and that's a very different thing to flag waving that says postmodernity, yay." I wonder then if accelerationism might be the term to replace the awkward placeholder terms like post-postmodernity or alter-modernity, etc. Given Cahoon's closeness to the thought of Mark Fisher, it might also be seen as the dialectical successor to capitalist realism, which, one might argue, is what the coronavirus pandemic is currently killing off. What it is not is a term synonymous with ethno-nationalism, or the idea that violence should be used to push Western countries into becoming failed states. Its appearance in the long rambling manifestos of the far right, I believe, is an acknowledgement of the experience of the condition. So today, from my isolated cave in southwest London, I can feel the landslide around me, peering over the cliff at the old world that is falling away, trying to project and see where its long run out will flow. At some point, we will all need to precariously pick our way down the slopes as we encounter some more fellow travellers with whom we'll need to decide which route we intend to go.